to the Tim Duncan retirement ceremony. Tonight, we celebrate and show our appreciation for not only one of the greatest Spurs players, but also one of the greatest players to ever play in the rich and storied NBA. For almost 20 years, Tim Duncan epitomized greatness, not by beating his chest or proclaiming what a warrior he was, but by playing the game with incredible passion and sportsmanship, while quietly dominating opponents on both ends of the court. Through it all, he was the ultimate teammate, lifting a franchise to 5 NBA titles. Tim, away from the court, you were intensely loyal. You conducted yourself with class and true humility. You were and still are a role model for people of all ages. There are franchise players, and then there are players that change franchises. Tim, you changed the Spurs organization into the standard of the NBA and all professional sports. You also changed San Antonio into the City of Champions. I'm honored to call you a teammate and a friend, but more importantly, I'm just proud of the amazing father you've become. Enjoy this night and let all of us here just tell you and show you how lucky we are to have you. Congratulations. As all of you can see here, we've got a lot of stars, star-studded event. I'll start over here with Tim's college coach, Coach Dave Odom.
Yeah.
The stopper, the rash, Bruce Bowen. The man responds. I like what George said in that video. He's the trump. He's the man who kept the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. One of the co-pilots that's helped guide us through 20 plus years of excellence. Jim Duncan. And the pilot, the man who has taken us through. The man who's taken us through 5 championships, and he's more than a coach to us, to a lot of us. He's like our father, Gregg Popovich. Two guys that I would be really shocked if they're not up here in a couple of years. Manu Ginobili and Tim Duncan. I'm gonna let Tim introduce his incredible family. Vanessa Macias and Draven, looking sharp. Why did your boy get the tie and you didn't? And his lovely daughter Cindy, and his 2 nieces. You didn't tell me. Our first speaker of the night, by the way, will be none other than Mr. Tony Parker. Take it away, Tony.
How you doing, San Antonio? I did a lot of speeches in my life, but I have to admit, and this one, I'm very nervous on this one, because I don't want to mess it up. It's an honor to do a little speech. A lot of people the last couple of days, they asked me why Tim is so special. And they told me 48 hours ago that I had to do a speech tonight. And I was like, since then, I keep thinking about that. Like, why Tim is so special? Why Tim is so special? I was like, the whole time, Pop did a speech before the game, I didn't even listen. I was like, why Tim is so special? And then Pop said, let's go play. I was like, hey, what's the pick and roll coverage? Because I was just like, I was not listening. And it's easy, but it's hard to talk about how special is Timmy. Because I'll start with the obvious. He's a superstar. And that's the big difference between role players, star, all-star, superstar, and superstar plus plus. Timmy is superstar plus plus. He's by himself in his own league. By himself. Because Timmy will play the game so easy. Like, you'll have like, and I talked to Manu, I was like, Timmy was not that good tonight. And he had like 30 points and 20 rebounds. And I was like, that was a quiet 30 and 20. I was like, that's the only guy that can do that many times. Every night, I look at the stat sheet. My first 2 years in the league, he won MVP 2 years in a row, my first 2 years. And every night I look and I'm like, wow, 40 and 26, I didn't even see it. Like, that's crazy to do that. That's very hard, because he's so unselfish. And everybody keeps saying that he's unselfish because he makes everybody around him better. And that's the true definition of a superstar. So I will use a couple examples. Timmy's got superpowers with his eyes too. He's the only teammate that never asks me or talk to me to get the ball. He just looks at me. And when you're 19 years old coming from France, that's very scary when he looks at you. He doesn't have to talk to me. Most of the guys like, hey Tony, I'm open. You know, Bruce was a pain. And Tony, you miss me in the corner. Tony, but Timmy just look at me like, and I'd be like, hey Pop, Timmy look at me, sure run a play. And Pop would be like, he really look at you? I was like, yeah, so sure run a play. If you want me to be the point guard tomorrow, it's me too. Passing the ball right now. So that's special power, and that's another reason why he's special, because he doesn't have to talk to get the ball. You just give him the ball. Another thing why he's special, Timmy, last year, to use a recent example, he's 40 years old. 40 years old, 2 knee braces, and I'm looking like Boban is from Serbia. Timmy doesn't even like Serbia. And he was like practicing, trying to get him better. And Boban was working with an intern. And then Timmy take him out, and for 20 minutes in a row, straight, play only defense to make Boban better. And I was looking at it, I was like, that's very special, because he's 40 years old, and he's trying to help Boban get better and play straight defense for 20 minutes in a row. So that's special to me. So just to give you a lot of examples, but the best example to me, to finish, I promised TD I'll be short, but I can't be short. It's your night, man. Can't be short. Play 15 years together. But the best example I can give is off the court. When you play for Coach Pop, you have to be very strong, you know, mentally. And that's an understatement. You have to be really strong mentally. And Timmy was always the best. He always knew, I don't know how, but he always knew when to send me a text to pump me up, give me maybe, I don't know, like 10,000 hugs during games, after games, always helping me out through those 15 years. And that's another thing why Timmy is special, because he cared. He wanted to win, but off the court, he was the best. Anything that happened in my life, he was always there for me. Birthdays, anything that happened, he was always the first one to text me. when I had kids and stuff like that, you was always there for me. And I'll always use you as a great example to follow, except of the closing. Wear the tie. Wear the tie. Wear the tie. But you'll always be an example to follow, and I love you guys, and now we're always going to remember number 21. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our next speaker. He needs no introduction, Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly nervous too. This is not a usual situation for me. But I want to emphasize how huge of an honor it is to be here in this building today, and especially holding this mic. It's such an incredible night. So I'm very, very thankful and happy to be here. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that made today great too, but you know they're not that common to hear about. Everybody knows how big of a player, the super duper star plus that he was. Everybody knows that. I just want to talk about how tough of a competitor he was. Many of the games in which he struggled for his standards, which was probably a 26 and 10, he was very upset because maybe he missed a big shot, maybe he was not as sharp as he wanted to, and so many times he came to the huddle and said, "That's on me, guys. This is my loss. It was my bad. I wasn't ready." And we knew that we looked at each other and said, "Oh my! Tomorrow he's going to be there very early. He's going to be very early there." So he would next morning he would get his headphones, get into the gun, the rebounding and passing machine, and shoot there for hours. Right-handed hook, free throw, banker. Up fake, dribble, shoot, and you go there early to the treatments because you were tired and the guy was there shooting and showing everybody else how it's done. And then the other thing that was coming for sure, it was an unbelievable night. He was really a tough competitor, and well, no, you guys can tell looking up there at all the rings and banners we got hanging there.
Yeah.
The other one was, on the other hand, I mean, he was so competitive, but he never hold anybody else accountable for losses or bad games. So I'm going to talk about him as a teammate. And as everybody said it, he was an unbelievable teammate in a way that is hard for you guys to see, because he didn't do it the conventional way. He didn't do it bumping chests or talking on the media or things like that. He did it quietly in a hotel room, in a locker room. It is true. As Tony said it, the first couple of years for us was tough. Pop was putting us through a lot of mental tests. He was the one always being ready to give you a hug, a pat in the head. So many pats in the head, you know what happened up there. So many hugs to the guy was unbelievable. I have one story that I never shared before. It was 2006, playoffs in Sacramento. We were up 2-1, and Bob signed a play. I had to finish the game. We were tied. I not only messed that play up, I turned it over, but they ran a transition, they scored, and we lost. It was 2-2, and I was devastated. I was truly embarrassed to have turned the ball over like that, and it really hurt me. I wanted to vanish. I wanted to dig a hole in the floor and just hide there forever. So I went to my room, I hid there. I didn't want to talk to anybody, so I turned the phone off. And the hotel room started to ring. I said, I don't want to talk to anybody, so I ignored it. Started to ring again, so I pick it up and hang it. Third time, I hang it again. Fourth time, I unplugged it. I said, yeah, come find me now. But then, there was another one in the bathroom. By the fifth time, I go pick it up, I say, what? And it was, Nanu. That's the way he called me. Nanu. He goes, what's up, buddy? What, TD? I don't want to talk to anybody. You know what happened. Come on, come with me, come with me. And he started insisting, and you don't say no to TD. So he said, and he invited me to dinner. We talked for hours. We talked about computers, cars, TV shows, whatever. The whole night shift, my mental state shifted, and you know, I had a way better night than would have been otherwise. Those are the type of gestures that I'm pretty sure you can go and ask most of his teammates around, and they all saw it. So, since last year, we didn't quite have the opportunity to say goodbye because we didn't know he was going to retire. We thought he was going to play till 58, but he didn't. So, you know, we didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye, to show him all the respect, the appreciation. I even tried by text, and he told me, I'm not dying. I'll be there. He said, no, I'm just going to show up every day. But, so I couldn't even say in that situation. So this is a great one, great environment. I'm pretty sure we as teammates wanted to have this opportunity, coaching stuff and the whole Spurs franchise, and no question about you guys that want to stay with us. No question. You have somebody that deserves it, is him. So, since I have the opportunity now, thank you to Dee. Thank you very much for all these years. Thank you for the full week for having my home because of you. Thank you for making me better, making him better, and him, and everybody that ever played with you. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your lessons that you never tried to get, that you did. Thank you for your friendship. Love you, man.
Thank you, Manu. Our next speaker is obviously very outspoken. He's the man who's guided us through 5 NBA championships. And he's the man you have to be mentally tough to play for. Gregg Popovich. Yeah.
What a great evening. Before I make some comments, I think it would be appropriate for everybody to know where this really started. And that's on an island far away, right, ladies? And the gentleman and his staff that founded and started all this happens to be here tonight. And that's head coach Dave Odom from Wake Forest, who founded Tim.
Yeah.
As I walked up here, I was reminded that myself and 2 of Tim's college teammates are sitting up here someplace. We're probably the only 3 people in this building tonight that have seen something that Tim Duncan's done that not a single person, including coaching staff here at in the Spurs, have done. Tim's first game at Wake Forest was something like 0 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 block. He said 7 rebounds, I'm not going to argue with him. But the story is we lost to a Division II team. From Alaska, where they don't even play basketball. And I said to him after it was over, Timmy, what gives? He said, Coach, I'm leaving a lot of room for growth. And he did. 22 years ago, I received a phone call in my office at Wake Forest. And this 6'9", 185, 190-pound Islander from the Virgin Islands called and said, I want to come to Wake Forest, I want to study, I want to get my degree, which he did in 4 years. And I want to learn the game of basketball, and I want to play it for a career, which he's done. I would say that phone call changed our fortunes as a university at Wake Forest. He was the right player for our team at the time. And I would submit to him, and I think he would agree, that Wake Forest was the right school for him at the time. I think if you continue along, 4 years later, I got a phone call, again, in that same office of mine from Gregg Popovich. And he said, David, we're going to draft Tim Duncan in the first round. And that, in my mind, was a fortuitous phone call and decision that he made to keep this franchise moving and moving upwards another notch. It was already good. And I would say, in closing, that decision that Coach Popovich and his staff, RC, made to draft Tim Duncan #1 proved to be the right decision for the Spurs as a franchise. But just as important, it turned out to be the right decision for Tim as a player. Because he got a chance to play for the best coach in all of basketball.
Yeah.
That you people here in San Antonio love your Spurs, you love your players, Tim, Tony, Manu, and Gregg. You love them with all your heart, you support them with all you've got. But I will tell you, there's a group of fans just like you, back in Winston-Salem, at Wake Forest University, that love him equally well. Thank you very much.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Down on the island, he comes and does what he does. We all know now he was a swimmer. And was probably going to be an Olympian. And things changed as the weather changed. But my time with him begins after Coach had it. And we all need to thank Coach for delivering a product to San Antonio that was already We didn't have to do much because of what Coach Odom did at Wake Forest. That's not an exaggeration, that's the truth. Timmy was very, very ready to go when he got here. When I first met him, well, after we drafted him, which was really a tough decision. Your cat or your dog in your house could have made that decision. You're smart. But I decided to go down to the island and see who this guy was, and to see if we were going to click and just how things would go. And I learned very quickly who he was. He could have told me that as soon as you get there and get in your rental car, that everybody drives on the other side of the road. But he neglected to tell me that. So I almost died 2 or 3 times just getting to his house. And then we lived on the beach for a few days. And we swam, and we talked. And from that moment, I knew that he was a special individual because he basically talked about everything but basketball. And we've been the recipients of that intelligence and that outlook on life since he's walked in there. So we're very thankful. But he's also strange. I don't know how many times I've had to bring carrot cake to his room, or he would be miffed. We're in a city, and I'm in a restaurant, and they have carrot cake. And so whenever that happens, I get the carrot cake, I bring it to his room like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. He might be sleeping, so I just set it at the door. I don't know what mice or whatever else is eating. I set it by the door, I'll knock, and then I'll leave. And he got used to this, so I had to do this for 20 years. Carrot cake for 20 years. David and Bruce never bothered me that way. Sean didn't bother me that way. But, you know, to be special, so he had to. The first practice is his gym shorts are backwards. Reminds me of somebody now, wherever it might be, wherever the guys are. And what's the deal? He goes, this is what I do. This is how I roll. I looked at the coaches, they looked at me, our Steve, we talked, I said, I don't think we care how he wears his trunks. So he did it. The entire time. He's an enigma in some ways. You think that Kawhi Leonard doesn't talk much. When Timmy first got here, it was like mental telepathy. I would say something to him, and he would stare. The same stare that Tony gets on the court. I wasn't sure if he was paying attention, but you know, he was a great collegiate and played at a great program, so I'm figuring he understands what I'm saying. And finally, I realized that he understood everything I was saying, probably agreed with about half of it, but he's so respectful that he wouldn't say anything until later. He won't do it in front of the team, and sometimes I'd be merciless. And for that, I'm really thankful because you allowed me to coach the team. If you're a superstar, to take a little hit now and then, everybody else can shut the hell up and fall in line. He allowed me to coach. There was something I was going to say that I forgot. Timmy, did you get my part of this? He had some things in here he wanted me to say. Remember this one. So now, it's his first contract is up. Everybody remembers this, all the talk about going to Orlando. Oh, and he played it up. He played it up really. You know, water, it's just like St. Croix, I'm going to have a boat, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And we got the San Antonio River. We got boats. So I can remember late nights in my backyard until 1 and 2 in the morning sometimes, sitting there talking, what are you going to do, what are you going to do, what are you going to do with the team, what are you Timmy, back and forth. So finally he made a decision after putting me through the grinder for what seemed like an eternity. He came over one night, true story, don't you even try to deny it. True story. He thinks it's funny. He walks in and says, Pop, before we sit, I got to just tell you, I'm going to go to Orlando. But he doesn't, say, I'm just kidding. He waits like 5 or 6 seconds, and I'm stunned for a while. And then he tells me what he's going to do. I think I jumped up at his arms and hugged him. These are the things that nobody understands how playful he is. And I'll miss that, everybody misses that, because when you've been with somebody for 20 years, you see a lot of that. And it's what really makes him special. As everyone has said, I don't even want to talk about rebounds and points and all that sort of thing. This individual made it possible for everybody we brought in through the years to be part of this culture and be part of this program. And he's demanding. He's very demanding. I mean, I can remember when Manu Ginobili came, Timmy was not impressed. See? Timmy was like, I remember this stuff, Timmy. Because I was saying, hey, we got a guy coming, Timmy, you're not going to believe this. Blah, blah, blah. He does this, he can do this. He's got the heart of a lion. He can yell kick. When we see it, we'll see it. So what happens? Manu comes, and the minute he gets here, he has a bad ankle. And he looks like our season.
Yeah, he was like out for like a quarter of the season.
He doesn't look that good. And Timmy just kind of looks at me like, yeah, okay, that's Ginobili. Great. So it's lucky to have him. He finally decided to sit on and wait till January, make sure he got healed. And when he came back in January, he was a monster. But Timmy's never said thank you or I was wrong. I don't know anything like that. Maybe later on tonight. Maybe, But as everybody said, his empathy, his ability to make people welcome and lead quietly, but with dignity and gravitas, made him special beyond most anybody that you can imagine. And the last comment I'm going to make before, I promised I wouldn't use this tissue, so I'm not going to do it. This is the most important comment that I can make about Tim Duncan, that I can honestly say to Mr. and Mrs. Duncan, who have passed, that man right there is exactly the same person now as he was when he walked in the door.
Yeah.
Spurs fans, please direct your attention to the screens and the Jumbotron for our Tim Duncan tribute video.
Everyone has a story to tell. Mine began simply. A journey. I just wanted to play the game I loved. That's what this journey is all about. It was never just about winning. It was always about showing respect for the game and for the people who played before me. It was about setting a good example for those who would play in the future and giving everything I had for my team. That's what mattered most. And maybe because of that, the game rewarded me. It gave me an opportunity to play at the highest level, to get to know other players, and to be a part of this big family, to learn from coaches who pushed me to be a better player, teammate, and leader. To have the opportunity to learn from, grow with, and play alongside the greatest mentors and lifelong friends anyone could ask for. to be challenged by opponents that brought out more than I knew I had inside me. Those are the rewards that I got from the game I love. It gave me back more than I could have ever expected, more than I ever dreamed. It gave me an opportunity to experience the biggest joy of all, watching my kids grow up, day by day, watching their dad do this job. My kids offered me more perspective, love, and inspiration than I ever knew possible. They made me appreciate my own parents, who gave me love, confidence, guidance, and a foundation to be ready for whatever life brought my way. And for that, I want to thank you, Mom and Dad. You gave me the strength I needed to take this journey, the courage to make the impossible possible, and the humility to know that the game is bigger than any one person will ever be. That's the script that my life started writing 19 years ago. I could have never imagined it would go like this. It's been a great ride, shared with some of the most wonderful people anyone could ever meet. Thank you, San Antonio, and everyone out there for all your love and support. But I don't see this as an ending. I see it as a new beginning, the first step of a brand new road. Seasons come and seasons go. But the game and this team will go on. There are no goodbyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Spur of all time, Tim Duncan.
In retrospect, I probably should have saved that whole speech for right now, because I don't even know what I'm going to say right now. To all of you in here, the fans, all of San Antonio, thank you. The love and support was overwhelming, especially over the last couple weeks. I've heard from teammates, from the guys that we've been with forever, to guys that played a year or two with, to these jokers over here. Just an amazing response and just an overwhelming amount of love from those guys for what I meant to them. And it doesn't even explain how much they meant to me, because I got so much more from you guys, from my teammates, from these guys over here than they can explain that they got from me. And I know that. I want to thank my family, my kids, my girlfriend, my sisters, my brothers over there who put this film together. it's a grind. Our career's a grind. We do a lot. We have a lot of time that we give to this game, to the different things we do, and they're always there. They go through it, and they love us no matter what. And that means a whole lot. That support, having that support for them, is so huge throughout our careers. So thank you, love you guys. To my coaches, Coach Odom, who gave me an opportunity. Some kid in Islands who shouldn't be here, but he gave me a chance. Thank you. So honestly, we're all a part of a puzzle, and you guys put it together. And we're out here every year with winning championships, and creating an atmosphere that we like to take some credit for, but you guys put together. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Pop, for being more than a coach. For being like a father. Thank you. I won a lot of bets tonight. I'll tell you this, I won a lot of bets tonight. I didn't wear jeans. I wore a sport coat. I didn't wear ties. Much more than that. And I spoke for more than 30 seconds.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the north side of the AT&T Center as we add number 21 to the rafters.